Hello, Bullvine listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Bullvine Podcast. I'm your host today, and I've got an incredible story to share with you, one that truly embodies the passion, perseverance, and innovation that defines great dairy breeding. Picture this with me. Morning sun streaming across Wisconsin pastures, dew still fresh on the grass, and Josh Hushon moving among his prized brown Swiss cattle. What began back in 1991 as a humble 4-H project has evolved into Brothers 3 Brown Swiss, one of the country's most respected brown Swiss breeding operations. The Brothers 3 story didn't begin with generations of dairy farming knowledge or an established brown Swiss herd. They were complete novices when they began. As Josh told me, we are first generation into brown Swiss and even into showing at all, so being open-minded and learning from people we look up to is ingrained into us. We didn't know anything about brown Swiss when we started in 1991, so there was no "this is our breeding philosophy" to help or hold us back. I love that blank slate approach. It might have actually been their greatest advantage. Without preconceptions about how things should be done, the Hushon family approached every challenge with humility and adaptability. Josh remembers how his parents had to find mentors just to learn showing techniques so they could pass that knowledge to their children. I think that's why we've never been afraid to ask the people we respect for help. We watched mom and dad do that constantly as kids. This philosophy of continuous learning has defined their success. Josh has a saying I find particularly powerful: to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. The Brothers 3 have consistently sought guidance from industry figures like Luke Peterson, who helped them turn a $1,200 purchase into a third-place finisher at World Dairy Expo and an honorable mention All-American. What I find fascinating about Brothers 3 is how they balance distinct roles while maintaining a unified vision. Though it's never been anyone's full-time job, their passion for brown Swiss cattle drives their collaborative approach. Each brother contributes according to their strengths. Jake leverages his role at New Generation Genetics to make most mating decisions, bringing industry-wide genetic insights. Josh and Casey manage day-to-day development and merchandising, determining which animals to show and invest in. And Joe, whose career has taken him toward agronomy, remains critical during World Dairy Expo, helping balance careers and Brothers 3 responsibilities. A pivotal moment came in 2014 when Josh and Casey purchased a small farm and began rebuilding their operation. Josh told me, from 2009 until then, we had dwindled our numbers and were only boarding a few with the tops in Ohio. Without a major change, the Brothers 3 prefix might have become history. This move allowed them to strategically rebuild their herd by acquiring animals from their favorite cow families in both brown Swiss and Ayrshire breeds. And folks, let me tell you, this isn't your romanticized version of full-time farming. Josh describes their operation as a morning, evening, weekend, and any other spare moment that Casey and I can find kind of job. They maintain 10 to 15 show heifers at their small farm, with milk cows owned in partnership with the Neals and Wolf families or boarded at quality operations like Boujon and Smith Crest. At the heart of Brothers 3's success is their commitment to breeding cattle that excel both in the show ring and the milking parlor. As Jake explains it, we have always bred for both type and production, even though we don't have our own dairy. It was always important to us that our cattle be productive in the milk string for the dairymen or partners who milk them, as well as competitive in the show ring for us. Remember Clents. Their breeding program builds upon the foundation established by their father, who emphasized 4 key elements: type, udders, cow families, and milk production. But here's where it gets interesting. About a decade ago, Brothers 3 began experiencing reproductive challenges in their herd. Drawing on Jake's experience with New Generation Genetics customers, they pivoted to prioritize daughter pregnancy rate, DPR, in their breeding decisions. This was a forward-thinking move that anticipated industry trends. Josh shared with me one of their most successful matings, Woodford with Deluxe. Now, if you look at Deluxe's linear, he's negative stature and only plus 0.2 on type, not what many would pick for an elite show mating. But he fit because of his high DPR, and they believed maternal lines matter tremendously in the brown Swiss breed. The results? The first 3 daughters from that mating have 3 All-American nominations in just 2 years, plus a 4th that sold for $30,000 as the second high seller at a recent sale. Let's talk about how Brothers 3 embraces cutting-edge technology. They've strategically used in vitro fertilization, IVF, in partnership with Crave Brothers for embryo implantation, which has been instrumental in rapidly rebuilding their herd quality. But genomic testing? That's been the real revolution in their breeding approach. Jake told me, genomic testing has had a massive impact on our breeding program. We started to test all females to get a glimpse into the future of each heifer. Just as each animal is designed with a specific nutrition program to maximize potential, genomics allows us to maximize genetic potential through our matings. Their 2-pronged genomic strategy is brilliant, testing all females to assess their genetic potential and selecting bulls that both maximize positive traits and address genetic weaknesses simultaneously. This has accelerated their genetic progress significantly, allowing them to make more informed breeding decisions than would ever be possible through traditional visual assessment and pedigree analysis alone. Every great herd has a foundation female, and for Brothers 3, that's Brothers 3 Whisper 2E92, a granddaughter of Top Acres E.J. Whistle. Twice named All-American, Whisper was junior champion at World Dairy Expo in 2001 and grand champion of the junior show in Madison in 2003. Her genetic impact has been extraordinary, 25 classified daughters, 21 of which are very good or excellent. Josh proudly shared that almost half of their 50 All-American nominations belong to her and her offspring. Their success in the show ring is impressive. 10 All-Americans and 7 Reserve All-Americans, 5 Honorable Mention All-Americans, 36 total All-American nominations, the 2023 Intermediate Champion at World Dairy Expo with top B3 Woodford, and successful entries in both Brown Swiss and Ayrshire breeds. Oh, listeners, if you want a story that embodies perseverance, you need to hear about Woodford. I can hear the emotion in Josh's voice when he tells this story. Standing in a pasture in late spring 2022, with tears in my eyes as they confirmed that top B3 Woodford had lost her calf and was open, I could never have imagined in a million years that she would be intermediate champion at World Dairy Expo 16 months later. Woodford had shown promise as a heifer, earning Reserve All-American Summer Yearling honors. After losing her calf, Josh feared his dreams for her were delayed, if not derailed. Yet against all odds, she calved at 2 years and 11 months, and by August was named Intermediate and Reserve Grand Champion at the Wisconsin State Show. Her rise continued at World Dairy Expo 2023, where she claimed the Intermediate Championship. Josh's words about her still give me goosebumps. I tell people that I love that cow more than you should love a cow, and she's broken my heart more than once, but I will keep putting my heart out there. She is my once-in-a-lifetime cow. The Brothers 3 approach to show preparation is fascinating. Rather than focusing solely on show-ready condition year-round, they prioritize growth during winter months. As Josh explains, I think one of the things that sets us apart is that we feed them to grow through the winter. And if they come into the spring carrying more weight than ideal for showing, we're fine with that. I joke that I am the guy that got the junior champion Ayrshire from Madison beat last year at Spring Show and was perfectly fine with that, because I believe these heifers need that mass and growth to make the distance to Expo. For yearlings needing to lose condition, their regimen can be intensive. Josh recalls walking 2 yearlings a mile daily after dinner, with each heifer completing this route more than 40 times between August and September. One of these animals went on to become junior champion Ayrshire at World Dairy Expo. What makes the Brothers 3 story particularly unique is Josh Hushon's dual identity as both a passionate brown Swiss breeder and a corporate strategist at Cargill. Since March 2020, Josh has served as strategic dairy marketing lead for North America at Cargill. As Josh explains, At Cargill, I am the Director for Strategy, Marketing, and Technology for our dairy nutrition business in the US and Canada, and I see several mutual benefits to this dual role with my cattle. Working at Cargill gives me access to some of the best nutrition minds in the world. This knowledge exchange works both ways. Being a customer at Cargill and spending my social time with other dairy producers keeps me grounded in a reality that makes our work more impactful to our customers. As a marketer, having daily real-world insight helps our team remain practical and innovative. Josh brings valuable insights from Cargill's sustainability initiatives to his farm operation. In a recent podcast, he highlighted the dairy industry's significant progress in reducing its environmental footprint. A gallon of milk now compared to 10 years ago to 60 years ago is probably 60 to 70% smaller carbon footprint in that time frame, which is amazing progress as an industry. Josh's industry involvement extends well beyond Brothers 3 and Cargill. After moving to Wisconsin in 2003, he quickly found community in the Wisconsin Brown Swiss Association, where his significant contributions led to his 2025 Wisconsin Service Award. As the World Dairy Expo representative for the Wisconsin Brown Swiss Association, Josh bridges his passion for the breed with organizational leadership. He has chaired 2 national Brown Swiss conventions and been instrumental in consolidating Wisconsin Spring Shows and Wisconsin State Shows into all breeds events in Madison. His brother Jake has also established himself as a respected cattle judge. When approaching a class of Brown Swiss cattle, Jake emphasizes, in cows, the udder is by far the most important trait, and it takes something truly special for the best uddered cow in each class not to be in first. Let me share some key advantages Brown Swiss have in today's market. Higher butterfat and protein percentages compared to Holstein's higher total milk volume, superior heat tolerance when compared to Holsteins, greater productive lifespan, superior carcass value for crossbred calves, high percentage of A2 genetics, and good feed converters with strong components. Looking ahead, Brothers 3 balances tradition with fresh perspective as they consider the next generation. The 4 boys who make up what they call B3 Gen 2, with a 5th on the way in July 2025, represent potential future leadership. Jake identifies 2 key opportunities for the breed: its growing popularity in the show ring, with high-profile breeders adding Brown Swiss to their operations, and its economic advantages in commercial settings. As Jake observes, in economic terms, our breed fights for stall spaces and uterus slots on large dairy farms today, with many dairy breeds, European red breeds, and now beef semen. 2 things Brown Swiss can and must capitalize on are the high payment for fat and the sale carcass value of the beef calves out of Brown Swiss cattle versus a Holstein or Jersey at market. Add in A2, which there is a large percentage of, and our opportunity to become a mainstream breed in the USA like they are in Europe is here. Josh acknowledges the impact of industry consolidation. We certainly feel consolidation as we see smaller farms exit that were long-time Brown Swiss breeders, and we find more of our show calf market being driven by hobbyists like us or even Holstein breeders looking to diversify with a Brown Swiss. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to share 5 key breeding strategies from Brothers 3 that you can apply to your own operation. Prioritize fertility. Select for positive daughter pregnancy rate to ensure reproductive success. Balance show appeal and commercial viability. Breed for type, udders, and strong cow families while maintaining milk production. Leverage genomic testing. Test all females to guide mating decisions and accelerate genetic progress. Focus on maternal lines. Build upon proven cow families for consistent genetic transmission. Form strategic partnerships. Create co-ownership relationships to access elite genetics and share risk. The Brothers 3 journey from novice 4-H participants to respected breeders of champion Brown Swiss cattle truly embodies the best of American agriculture: innovation, dedication, and a willingness to learn from both success and setback. As Josh reflects on his journey with Brothers 3, his words capture the essence of their success. To know the road ahead, ask those coming back. By honoring tradition while embracing innovation, Brothers 3 and Josh Hushon have not only found their road, they're helping chart the course for Brown Swiss breeders everywhere. That's all for today's episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed this incredible story of passion, perseverance, and smart breeding. Until next time, this is the Bullvine Podcast, celebrating the best of dairy breeding and the people who make it happen. Thanks for listening.